Alright, what's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Parasite Eve 2. In the last video, we left off by using the phone to call Mist and save our game. We ended up in Gary Douglas's trailer. We're not going to talk to Douglas quite yet. He's looking at us like, the fuck does this bitch want? Where did she come from? First, I want to look at an item that we got in the last boss battle, which is the woven ring. Which is the woven ring. The woven ring can be examined, and it is now the medicine wheel. This, honestly, should be attached to your armor the moment you get it. I did not do that, but it should be. The reason being is this is another special item. This is the earth. We'll call them totems. This would be the water totem. This is the earth totem. If you use this, it will invoke your lowest parasite energy, that is earth. Just like the holy water would with water. And as you might can guess, there's also an item for wind and an item for fire. There are only 4 of these special items in the game. And it is recommended that you have all 4 of them equipped in your attachments at all times, as soon as you can. With that being said, the medicine wheel has a very interesting attachment effect. It grants you bonus items after battles. So, say you fight a battle and you get items after the battle, you can get bonus items with the medicine wheel. And it's very selective about what battles that it gives you bonus items for, but it's very useful as the bonus items are usually high quality rare items, such as protein capsules, ringer solutions, which we've not found a ringer solution yet. We will eventually. There's also, you can even find ammunition and other extremely useful items with the woven ring attached. Forgive my sniffles. We're actually going to go back into the factory here and meet back up with Flint, the dog. The dog that we saved from the burner boss. He should be around here somewhere. Where are you, Flint? Okay, so Flint wants us to go out this door. And if you keep following Flint, be careful, because some areas have enemies, of course. Flint will bring us to the water tower. And there are enemies out here. But not just enemies. Enemies like we would see in the shelter. And if you'll notice, I got a bonus item there. Want to guess what that bonus item was? Because it wasn't an eau de toilette. It was a belt pouch. How much more important can you get? Right? We just got a belt pouch for killing that little guy. That is miraculous. Flint takes you to the ladder. If you climb up the ladder, what is happening over here? Come on, Aya. Aim at this one. I think if you knock him down outside of the bounds of the water tower, that pretty much does him in for good. Don't worry about shooting this guy. You're not going to do it. We got another bonus item. This time it was Spartan ammunition. I'll take all of that. A small cutscene is going to trigger here, and you're going to figure out this is Pierce, the guy from the shooting range at Mist Headquarters. And Aya thinks he is 100% dead. But he's not. I thought you were... Whoa, I can see 3 of you. I can get used to this. Huh, same old Pierce I see. Yep, he hadn't changed much. He got attacked by NMCs. And he implies that he lost blood, but you can't really see any physical markings on him. Whereas later in the game, there will be moments where you can actually see markings on people who are hurt. So it's really interesting to me that it goes out of its way to imply that those things are like mosquito monsters. So Pierce came here to rescue Aya, because you kept calling in the mist and saying, hey, shit's really hit the fan. So Pierce jumped in his SUV and come to help you. He's going to give you his SUV key, which for whatever reason he had in his mouth. And he goes out cold, which I've never seen anyone pass out that slowly before. But that's Pierce for you. Who else but Pierce, right? Alright, so if you examine Pierce, he's sound asleep. Might be some toxin from the NMC attack that sedated him. Moving him might do him more harm than good. He should be safe up here. There's a thing you can do to help him. And it's a thing we are going to do to help him. Now, I gotta remember the best way to do this. Yeah, I remember. So, what you're going to want to do, and this is important that you do it, not only does it contribute to you getting the good ending of the game, we're already on that path anyway, that's what we're probably trying to shoot for, but it also is important for an item. And we just caused a chain reaction that wiped out every NMC in the room right there. So that's good. You're going to see some old, enemies that you haven't seen since Dryfield, which is cool. It's always a nostalgic thing to come back and fight them. There's no enemies in the saloon right now, so you're pretty much good on that. And I don't think there's any enemies out here, although they could spawn in randomly, because that's just kind of how the game likes to work sometimes. No, we're okay. Is the bathroom? Yeah, the bathroom has enemies. So we're actually going to go through here and see what's in the bathroom. Whoop, I passed the bathroom. Oh, tank controls. What are you doing to me? So there's definitely something in here. Okay, it's a little hopper guy. The way this is set up usually is after you fight the burner boss, if you go around and try and kill like all the enemies, if you come and find some of these hopper guys wherever they might be, you'll notice that they're cowering in the corner and won't even attack you, and that's because the burner boss is so big that he causes like the ground to shake, and it scares the little bunny NMCs. So that's kind of a neat touch, just kind of a nuance that is interesting in my opinion. I got plenty of MP and no HP, so I'm going to go ahead and pop a few heals and we'll be on our way. So we're going to head this way, through this all ramshackled gate. Oh, okay. First things first, get away from the moths. And I got hit right there, that's fine. If you don't mess with the moths, hopefully they won't mess with you. Kill that one, kill that one, kill the... Oh. Once you attack one of them though, you're dealing with all of them. So keep that in mind. Pick the moths off after you deal with the chaser. That's the lesson to learn there. For those of you who are like, why haven't you messed with your XP and gotten more energy and stuff? Well, I'm working on that. If you come over here, there's an ice machine. Pierce could use this. So you get an ice bag. You don't want to fight enemies your entire way back. You want to run straight back. The reason you don't want to fight enemies is because if you run into NMCs at all, the ice bag will melt. And it will do you no good. So you want to go straight back to Pierce. The safest possible way, which is through the saloon and through this little side door again. Then you want to go through the next little side door. Then you want to go back around the fence, up the ladder to Pierce. It's a long, drawn-out thing. And I really don't like the fact they put this in the game in order to, get an item. But it is what it is. Ice, that's it. Pierce, wake up. Humph. Put this on the bruise. Thanks, feels better already. Here, take this. He gives you a cola. Cola's pretty good, man. He fell asleep again. What did we do the first time he fell asleep? We got him a bag of ice. So guess what we're fixing to go and do? We're going to go get him another bag of ice. See why I don't like this yet? Because we're going to be doing this a total of 3 times. I wish I could jump cut around this. I really do. It's kind of long and drawn out. But as I explained in another video, there's not really a good app for Android that will allow me to put jump cuts in videos. That sounds really dumb. Like, there's plenty of video editors out there. They're just either watermarked or they're massive video editors with tons of ads in them that don't really do what I want them to do, which is allow me to cut from one point in the video to another point in the video seamlessly. And then there are some editors that will allow you to do it, but want to save a video on my phone, like the internal SD card, instead of my external SD card. And it's wanting to save like a 5 gigabyte video, and I just don't have the space on my phone currently to do that. So my only 2 options is to leave my videos completely unedited, which is fine with me, or I can delete half, if not over half of the apps on my phone to make jump cuts and videos. So I'm making a judgment call and a decision right there, and I'm just gonna, if I'm being honest with you, I'm just gonna keep them unedited. That's how I've always done YouTube videos. It's how I enjoy doing YouTube videos. I think it's cool to let people see exactly the stuff that I go through, even if it's, getting a random phone call during the game, or my keyboard crashing. Speaking of which, I'm gonna tap a key on that and make sure that doesn't go out. I'm glad I reminded myself. This is definitely one of the more long, drawn-out parts of this game. My 2 least favorite parts of this game, I would say, are the boss rush between disc changes and this. Because this is just... And this is totally optional, by the way. If you go with Kyle Madigan back into the shelter, he gives us an MP boost too. Also a very good thing to have. Out like a light. He is asleep again. If you go with Kyle back into the shelter, you miss out on all this. Which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's also kind of sad that you don't get this item, and it detracts from your ending. But still, I like the fact they made this optional. I like the fact that you don't have to do this. Now, between the disc changes, that's all story progression. You gotta do that. And it's... First it's the burner boss. And then as soon as you get the gas in the truck, you're off, you swap discs. And then it's the NMC pack boss. Or mini boss. Then after the NMC pack mini boss, you go fight the giant chaser boss, the big chaser. And you fight him twice. Once as a mini boss, and the second time as a full-fledged boss. Then after that, you go into the shelter for the first time and fight another giant stalker boss. Or mini boss, I should say. Although, That's the only boss in this entire game so far that has managed to kill me. I would like to point that out. I had to kind of cheese that boss a little bit just to get him down. Last time I played through this game, I did it with a PO8, but it was not a comfortable fight. I actually died multiple times on the first giant stalker that we come across in the well the first time we went down there, the first time around in Dryfield. I died on him multiple times in my first playthrough of this game, so it's really interesting to note that they're technically not the same boss, they're the same style of boss, but they are different. The one in the well will slam you against the ceiling and cause confusion, while the one in the shelter will actually jump down, and not only are his attacks like coated with poison, if he hits you at all it poisons you. That wasn't a thing in the first giant stalker battle. But also he can jump on you. The one in the shelter can jump on you and keep leeching your HP away. So Pierce is up and at him now. Aya says, "Hey, the swelling's gone down some." And Pierce says, "Thanks to you. You should rest at the motel." I think I might just do that. Oh, almost forgot to give you this. He gives this a charm. He doesn't say anything about the charm. He just gives it to us. If you talk to him again, he says, "There's a nice night breeze. I think I'll rest here a bit." Aya has literally said, "Hey, go use my motel room," and he's electing to stay up here. But we're going to look at this charm. This charm is the Ofuda. The Ofuda is another special item. Now we have 3 of the 4. This is another one. This is for wind. If you use this, it will invoke your lowest wind parasite energy, which I highly recommend you do not do. Instead, we are going to equip this in our armor. This is a very special item. And the reason it's a very special item is I've looked up what it does. I've looked it up on multiple sites to confirm. There is a little bit of controversy about how the game really calculates this, but according to multiple sources, including Wikipedia's fandom and a fan-made website for the game that has a extensive list of items, where to find them, and what they do, this increases your physical damage you deal by 50%. So if you were doing 10 damage per pop with the PO8 using PB, that brings it up to 15 damage a pop with the PB. And you can scale that up with Hydras and Spartans. So that is a very important item to obtain. With that being said, those 4 items, first one granted us 25% immunity to damage. The second one gave us bonus items after battles, which so far we've gotten a protein capsule. I think we've gotten a protein capsule. If not, But so far we've at least gotten Spartan ammunition and a belt pouch out of. And I'm pretty sure we've gotten a protein capsule. I could be wrong about that. But all these things go towards making your character in this game stronger overall. So it's very important that you pick these up. Now, the reason it is important is because this game has a difficulty curve about midway through the shelter. I'm not going to say when, not going to say how, but there is a difficulty curve, and if you're not ready for it, it will take you by surprise. It's cool that this is more of what most people would consider a survival horror type of game, but it has RPG elements in it, and making your character stronger is one of those RPG elements. It shouldn't be ignored. And also, the only way you can get the Ofuda is if you decide to come to Dryfield by unlocking the Full Moon Gate instead of staying with Kyle Madigan. So now I'm doing 52 damage on a critical. That was a one-shot kill on that. I can't fault that. That's beautiful. What am I missing here? The battle's not ending. Okay, there's got to be one of these things on the ground somewhere that I'm not seeing. Oh, hey. Or it could be this thing. Much easier to take down now that I have the Elfuda equipped. That was a much easier battle. Real quick, I'm just going to check Aya's trunk. There's a recovery 3 in here. I'll take that. If you left any items in her trunk, you can come back and get them if you come back to Dryfield. Also, we have Pierce's SUV key, which opens the back. And in the back, we get the same body armor that you can get at the Acropolis Tower. It makes a reappearance. I'm not going to use this belt pouch. I'm not going to use any of my recovery items. I don't really need this armor right now, but I know where it is. So we're going to keep that in mind. The other item is lipstick. It is a attachable item. There are multiple times in the game where you can acquire lipstick, and what it does is it prevents silence as long as you have it equipped. It's not a one-time use item. As long as it's equipped to your armor, you can't be silenced, which is nice because that means you can never not use your MP abilities. Speaking of MP abilities, it's about time we check those. I have 5,883 XP, energy shots at level 3, healing could go to level 3 right now, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to strengthen antibody to its level 3. And that shows us something interesting. 3,000 to revive this, but this is unlocked energy ball. If you'll notice, each one of these has 2 things and an empty space underneath it. If you level 3, if you max out both skills on any given element, you will unlock a 3rd skill. Energy ball is kind of interesting. It says that it creates a circling orb that repels attacks. That's not really what it does. What it does is it creates a circling orb that when it comes in contact with an enemy, it explodes and deals damage to that enemy. It doesn't really repel attacks. It can. Like, say if one of the hoppers tries to jump on you and it gets hit by an energy ball, normally it'll sling it back and that attack will be repelled, but it deals a crap ton of damage to the enemy as well. And when I say a crap ton of damage, probably about 120, 130, somewhere up there. It's a really good skill to have. I'm not going to revive that one probably in this entire playthrough because I don't use it much. But some of the other abilities that we unlock, I might end up using. Might. It takes a lot of XP to revive that. So I would rather spend that XP on stuff that I know for a fact I'm going to use. While we're here, I'm going to go ahead and strengthen up Necrosis to level 2. And I can't strengthen Plasma quite yet, but I will be. So, with that being said, if you want, you can clear out Dryfield of all the enemies. Honestly, I recommend doing that simply for the fact that it gives you more XP and more BP to work with. But first, what I would like to do is I want to go to the trailer again and talk to Douglas. And I'm going to go kind of the long way around. Not only will it allow me to fight more enemies and gain more BP and XP, but it might be a shorter and quicker run than, say, going to his trailer the long way around. Scorpions, as you can see, my PO8 with Hydras and that new charm is dealing a lot more damage to Scorpions. The Scorpions don't even pose as much of a threat to me anymore. Back in the day, we were dealing like 3 to 5 damage. Where is this next Scorpion at? I hear him. Okay, metabolism. I'm losing HP the more I walk around. It's gotta be back here. And I also hear moths. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. And you need to die. Simple as that. Boom bada bing. Always aim at your flyers first. You can tap the aim button, which is going to be square for a normal control scheme, to swap between targets. And if that's not working, try holding down square and tapping left or right on your D-pad, and that will help you swap through targets a lot quicker. This is an easy battle. It's a bunch of flyers. If you've got the PO8, you're going to be dealing critical damage out the ass on these guys. Boom. The PO8, in my opinion, especially as you level up your Parasite energy to have a good amount of backup skills useful, whether it be energy shot or antibody or healing. Once you have that to back you up, the PO8 is more than sufficient. Energy shot will make this thing a beast. And the 32 rounds in the snail magazine, I don't recommend using the PO8 if you're not going to get the snail magazine. The snail magazine makes it a actual gun that you can use. It makes it, in my opinion, probably the best gun in the game overall, considering the fact you can get free ammunition for it, and it just has such a high critical rate and mobility. The reload speed itself is gorgeous. And this is what I meant by cowering in the corner. Uh-oh. That's not good. I messed up. Yep. I got most of them. We'll go ahead and do that again. Just to take care of the bats. Critical. 3 shots, man. 3 shots. There's another one back here. Critical. 3 shots. Like, the amount of ammo you save is also a factor in whether it's a good gun or not, in my opinion. We know that there's I think a flare in here, but I can't carry it because my inventory is full. I just came in here to kill some enemies real quick. That's more XP, more BP. But really, where we're trying to go is this way. And as we go this way, we're going to notice something interesting in the well, which we've already noticed, but I thought it's kind of cool. So I wanted to bring it back up. Didn't it say that this was red? No, this is not red. The water's gone. The water's completely gone because we drained it from the shelter. So because we drained the water in the shelter, the water in this well is completely gone. So that's interesting in my opinion. I think it's a cool little touch that they made sure that, you know, people didn't go, well, I lowered the water, why is there still water in this well? So yeah, that's an interesting thing. We're going to go back through the garage door here. Back through the garage. And we're going to head towards Douglas's trailer. Gave me a little bit more XP, a little bit more BP, and I'm doing pretty good. We're almost done with Dryfield the second time around. But one thing we did not do is we did not talk to Gary Douglas. Huh, so you made it. While you were gone, I brought some more goodies from the warehouse. Some real beauties here, eh? So he has new stock, and I don't understand this about this game. I get why they do this, because it's a reward for coming back to Dryfield to like check on people and be a good person. But you took his truck and he has a peg leg. How did he move equipment from his warehouse? Anyway, you can now buy the MP5A5. This is a submachine gun with a flashlight. And if we check the stats on it, it holds 30 rounds. The flashlight has 50 charges. That flashlight's the exact same as the one that was on Kyle's gun, and it can be used the same way to stun enemies. Certain enemies, I should say. Holds 30 rounds, and you can literally hold the button down and fire all 30 of them full auto if you want. it's not a bad gun. I really enjoy it as a weapon. Sneeze. Sorry. You know, that's what happens when you don't edit videos. Like, you catch little moments like that. I like it. I enjoy it. Anyway, I'm a human. While this thing is nice, it's powerful, it's still not as powerful as the P08 per round. And also, being a full auto weapon, you will blaze through your ammo. So if you're looking for damage per shot, the P08's the way to go on 9mm. So I'm not going to bother with that. The PA3, it holds 3 rounds. It doesn't have much range. The fire rate is garbage. It's bad. You were able to buy that the entire time. Now the AS12 holds 20 rounds, and it is a rapid fire 12 gauge combat shotgun. This thing actually makes shotguns liable, like as a playing weapon. And I know we picked up a shotgun in the shelter, and it's not a bad shotgun either. It fires faster than the PA3, and it's a decent shotgun if you want to use a shotgun. But this makes shotguns worthwhile to use. This thing is a beast, but look at the BP you need. That's a lot of BP. That's the most we've seen so far on one item. So risk reward at that point. If you buy this thing, you best use it. And it is heavy and cumbersome and will slow you down. Another thing, he got the M203, which is, if you're familiar with guns or Call of Duty, it's a grenade launcher. It holds 1 grenade, and it can be reloaded. It uses grenades out of your inventory. It is a decent weapon if you're using the M4A1. I'm not sure if it can be equipped with both rifle clip holders, but I think it can. If it cannot, I apologize, and that's something you'll have to weigh out. Risk reward there, but it's not a bad attachment for the rifle, in my honest opinion. And the other thing is the pike, which is the flamethrower we've seen Kyle Madigan using. This thing is expensive, but it is a very good attachment for the M4A1. This thing roasts the sludges. And there's a lot of other enemies too that are susceptible to fire. Any type of worms are susceptible to fire. That's a very good weapon for you to have. And if you go back to the shelter and look in the armory there, you're not going to have access to the M203 or the pike. You might have access to the javelin, but you won't have the M203 or the pike. So this is the only place you can get these until later in the game. So up until this point, we've not seen those things. They are very good. Also, he now sells hydras. He also sells fireflies if you're using a shotgun. Good to note. And then armor, he now has an EOD suit, which is an explosives suit. Resist impact and resist paralysis. I think what resist impact is basically if a chaser hits you, he just bounces on you. It still deals damage, but not as much damage as if it knocked you down. Pretty sure what resist impact is the chasers will not knock you down anymore. Now, the thing to note about this suit is that it gives you plus 100 HP, which is really good, but it does not give you any MP. This is for tank builds in this game where you're using protein capsules and you want like 200 to 300 HP. Is it decent? Yeah, it's got 5 attachments. I like the paralysis resist, but it's not something I would use. I would focus on MP rather than HP. MP can be used to restore HP, while HP cannot be used to restore MP. So therefore, you're gaining a function by taking one into a preference. And he's got the normal stuff that you can buy from him in items. But I wanted to go over the new stuff that Douglas has to buy. And with all that being said, in the next episode, we're going to head back to the shelter. We're going to go discover some new things. We're going to go search and find a lot of cool stuff. But until then, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to call it an episode here. Like, subscribe, comment, all that YouTuber cliche crap to say. And as always, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.